So if you want to connect to, so if you want to switch to other user, suppose like SID EDM, just you can use SU hyphen, suppose like S4H EDM, right? S4H EDM. So that you will connect to the S4H EDM. So then you can just, if you type it, then you will enter into the, so HDB info. Just if you see, you will see the what are the services are up and running here. So this is the daemon. This is the daemon related service. So this remaining under the daemon, we have the remaining all are available. It's not like that. So daemon is not running. The daemon is not running. Daemon means mummy, right? The daemon is not running. So nothing will be available here. That's why we all are under the control of the mummy, like daemon process. This is the daemon process. So this is the daemon process related process. Under this, so we have the this process also. See here, the developers, they have written like this only. See, under the main process, under the control of the daemon, we have everything. Everything is available here. It's not like that daemon is stopped or something. The daemon is stopped means nothing here. All will be down. Nothing will be active, right? So here, so that is the thing here. So just you can use sudo or su, anything you can use it, right? That is the switch user. Sudo means switch user, we can use it, right? You are perfect on this one. So installations, I think couple of persons done the installations. So you have tried this one, everything is okay. Let me see how many databases are up now. Few are, I stopped it due to some memory issues, because those many are not required. Those many CPUs are, sorry, databases are not required. One is enough for the our administration purpose. You can see here 3 are active here: S4S, S4H, and S4D. These all are active status only, right? You can see the all are active status. These many are not required actually, right? These many are not required because unnecessarily it will hit the so memory. One is enough for everyone. One database is enough for the everyone to monitor it here. So then now let's discuss how to add the systems to the HANA Studio that we everybody knows. I think last week we discussed about the first 3 tabs, right? Overview, landscape, and alerts. That we discussed about the Saturday, I think, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just how to add, once again, I'm telling here, you can see here, just click on the plus symbol here, right? Just will give the host name. So just we can try to add the SAP Linux 1, right? Our host name, instance number 00, multi-container, so system database, right? So maybe I can type like description S4H. It's not mandatory. So just I will create like system database, system DB. For my remember purpose, I just mention system DB. So not here, we don't have any users. We have only system user. Just type system user, that will be added to the here, right? Then again, same, you can add the SAP Linux 1. Then just go to the 00 instance number, tenant DB. Tenant DB also same SID, right? It's like tenant of S4H, tenant of S4H. So then system, then you can use the, so this one. So it's done, right? So I added the 2 databases. We have more, I think 2 or 3 are left, I think here, 2 databases, H4C, S4D. So these are left. So we can add this database also into here. We can add it here, right? You can add it to this database also. That is also possible. Okay. So we can add it to the number of databases to the here. If you open the administration console, the console will be opened here, right? The console will be opened here. That is what we covered up to. So overview tab, just we can see the overview of the all the process and everything. Landscape tab. So then alerts tab. So landscape tab, all the 7 process we can see it here. So and alerts, are there any critical alerts, high priority alerts? So all the information we can see here, right? You can see the all the information, alerts, errors, everything we can find out from the alerts tab here. So up to here we are clear, right? Overview, landscape, and alerts, right? So let's talk about the performance tab, right? Performance. So in the name itself, we have the in the name itself we have the the meaning is there. In the tab itself, we have the meaning like performance. In your database, so in your database, if any issues, in the HANA database, if any issues, so here we can track it. What is the exact sessions and everything? Why? Because each person, the person who logged into the database, so that each person, there is a session will be allocated here. One session will be allocated. When he is initiated the connection from the HANA studio or somewhere, the session will be initiated here. So this is my session. Why? Because currently I logged into the session. My session is running here. It is the active status. And I logged in with the HANA studio. And what is the source? This is the source. What is the user I logged in? Administrator user. What is the DB user I connected? What is my IP? What is the process ID? What currently I am executing here? What currently I am doing here, right? All the information, it will be showed here. How many queries I executed till now? 56. Records are fetched. These many records. Average response time, query time. So 6 milliseconds, right? 6 point. So number of DML statements. So all the information I got it. So which means each user, whoever log into the database level, so that database level, that information will be tracked here. That information will be opened here. Whoever log into the database, so that information will be opened here. So it will be tracked here. It will be recorded here. When the user was created the session, so all the information will be open here. When the user was opened the session, so it's like 8:37, right? So now 8:37, our class timings. So I have opened the session here. I have opened the session. My session is running here, right? So that here, what we can do here, you can also see the blocked transactions. Is there any transactions are blocked or not? Then sessions. Whoever log into the database, those all the sessions will be recorded here. All the sessions will be recorded in this screen. We go to the threads. So here, each session, you log into the database, you are doing multiple actions. So means multiple actions, multiple threads, multiple actions, multiple threads will be allocated. Multiple actions, multiple threads will be allocated here. Multiple actions, multiple threads will be allocated here. That is what we can see the thread session. That is what we can see the threads in the session here, right? Each session, multiple threads. I logged into the system. I am opening the multiple threads. Like session means multiple threads means. So just one tab I have opened the same threads performance tab. One tab I have opened the one more other session I will open it. So multiple sessions will be created here. Multiple sessions will be created here. Suppose one tab I open the backup console tab. So same session I can generate it here. So that multiple threads will be opened in multiple requests, right? So all will be. Suppose if you are the user, then with your username, with your name. So suppose like here, suppose like Chandra username, system. So user with multiple one session and multiple threads. So like that, 100 users, 100 sessions. So thousands of threads will be allocated. Whatever he is doing in the database, so each threads will be created. So by checking this performance tab, this tab is very important in the real time or whenever the issue comes. During the real time activity, whenever issue comes means whenever is there any issue, so you can, so whenever there is a issue, that information we can track it here. So suppose like if we go to the performance tab, so here we can find out what exactly happening with the my system, what exactly happening with my system. So which user, what exactly session is running here, what exactly is doing. So all the information with the user ID, everything we can find out here. Maybe this session is doing something means you can just cancel the session also. Just you can cancel the session also. We can also cancel the sessions. Suppose particular user is doing something in the system, we want to cancel. Just we can cancel the session also. We can cancel it. Like that, we can cancel the sessions from the users. So like that, we can cancel the sessions, cancel the thread operations. What is thread is doing here? So multiple activities it is doing. You want to cancel this threads. You want to cancel this thread. So you can cancel it. We cancel it, all threads are gone. Again, more threads are created, right? Why? Because I am using actively in the system. So for my sessions, these all threads are active, right? So these are the threads, sessions, blocked transactions. Suppose sometimes transactions will be blocked due to other process hold up. The same as like in SM12, we can see the lock entry, right? Same here also, some transactions may be blocked. So this is the one transaction. So here we have the one user, right? Here we have the one user. So one user trying to edit something in the database level, table level, right? Is trying to edit it. So he's trying to edit it. Then if the same user is trying to edit the same thing, so both the same time, both the times he is editing, the transaction will be blocked here, right? So transaction will be blocked. That blocked transaction ID, user ID, transaction ID, remove. So all the lock, who is the owner, all the information will be displayed here, right? So here the blocked transactions. So normally rare cases we will see the here. Otherwise, it should be empty. So plan cache. Cache means normally in the system we have the multiple caches to store the temporary data. In the SAP level, how we have the buffers, right? ST02, we can see the buffers, right? ST02 in SAP level, ST02. Temporary, it will store the program buffer, calendar buffers, CA buffers, right? We have the export import buffer, number of buffers are there. Same as like in SAP level, we have the caches concept. So each caches, so this is the SQL cache. So means all SQL statements, whatever executed, all will be stored into this plan cache. If is the statement is there in your plan cache, so the results will be very fast. The pulling the data is very fast from the database level. So whatever you are executing, select the district. So everything it will be converted into the SQL statements only. Database level, whatever the query is executing, everything will be converted into the one SQL statement. Each statement there is a hashtag. Hashtag means one hash differentiation will be allocated here, so that it should not be, it should be different from the each and every SQL statements. So that, so who executed what? So suppose if your query in the here, the query is in the here, then your system will be faster to grab the data, to retrieve the data from the in memory, right? So if it's not there, then it will grab it, it will put the one SQL statements will be here, right? So this is the SQL plan cache. Cache means temporary storage area. It will store the caches. It will store the all SQL statements, right? This is the SQL plan cache. Expensive statements. Suppose one statement is executing longer time. One statement is executing the longer time. So you are not sure how much it is taking the longer time. Suppose this is taking longer time. You want to configure, we can configure the trace. What exactly? Suppose example, if you see here, this session, this Ravi session is doing something in the system. We want to configure the trace. You can configure the trace. We configure the expensive statement trace. What happens? Why this is taking longer time than as usual? Then the trace will be active here. The trace will be active. Then we can collect the log files from the systems. The trace will be active. We can collect from the, so we can collect the logs here. We can collect the logs. So configure trace, maybe expensive statement. Expensive statements means longer running statements. Longer running statements are called the expensive statements. So those things we can monitor in the systems, in the performance tab. So are there any jobs in progress? Those jobs will be displayed here. Nothing is there. No jobs are in progress. So is the application job will be displayed. So is the schema name. What is the current status? All will be displayed in the systems. All will be displayed in the systems. All will be displayed in the systems. This is about the performance tab. So basically, in your system, if any issues, any errors, database is slow, performance is very bad, very slow to open it. So you need to check the something like that. You got it. In this case, just to open the database performance tab, you can see the sessions. What are the sessions? Or how many sessions are active? Then what are the threads are active? All the information we can see in the sessions and the threads tab. All the information we can see here. All the information we can see in the sessions and threads tab here. Sessions and threads tab here. Okay. So this is the sessions and threads information in the performance tab. Any issues in the database, performance issues, slowness, so it's not able to open. So then you can come to the performance tab. Who is user? What is executing? What statement? All the information we can track it here, right? That is the sessions tab. The next one is the volume tab. Any questions on this performance tab? Okay. So volumes tab. I hope everyone done the installation, right? You are aware of the installations and everyone how to add the systems to the HANA Studio. Is it done? Can I get the round of confirmation from everyone? Is it done? Adding the systems to the HANA?
Adding HANA system was done, but tenant DB was not completed by me.
You can add it. Same way you can add it, right? Same way you can add it. Maybe you can add this system S4H. The SID also, it's good naming convention. And everyone, if you
actually system DB was added.
Mm-hmm.
System DB was addition of system DB was completed, but it was showing error in only tenant DB.
Tenant DB, maybe end of the session you can share your screen and show me how to. I will guide you again how to add the systems. Then
okay.
So here to add in the system, the database should be up and running in the OS level. The database should be up and running. Suppose if you are in LD5, suppose say example SU space LD5 ADM, right? So check this is exist. I think this is not exist. So what is the database you have installed? So here LA5, right? LA5. Just go to the LA5 ADM. So then just check the HDB space info. So this is down. So currently this is not available. Why? Because multiples are running. So that's the reason you are unable to add it. You are unable to connect to the studio. So it should be up and running. Then only you can add it, right? This should be up and running. Then only you can add to the HANA Studio level, right? That should be up and running. That is the reason you are unable to add it. Better. So instead of installing everyone their own system, we can connect to the S4H area. That is fine. Because you've done the installations, you are perfect now. So that is fine. Just to go for the adding addition of the this two, you can add it. It will be added here. So the next one is the volume tab here. Okay. In the volume tab, we can find out the volumes. Volumes means data volume /data /log or the volumes tab. We will call it as the volumes. Maybe in a Windows, we will call it as the disk, C drive, D drive, something like that, right? So here, when it comes to the file system, these are the file systems, Linux level. So, and HANA level, we will call it as the VM. Same, it's same only, just naming convention is different. So just namings are different here. We will call it as the technical naming convention, volumes. Volumes means here, you can see here, what is the storage size device, what is the storage size, how much total, what is the currently used size, and what is the availability, this percentage, all the information we can see here. All the information we can see here, data volume and the log volume, data volume and the log volume, all the information we can see here in the systems, right? This is the way we can add the multiple systems to the HANA Studio, and So we can observe it. So we can connect to the HANA Studio and open the administration tab. There we can see the navigate to the tabs. Each tab overview, just information about the your HANA databases, memory, services, all the information. Here in the landscape, family members information we can see here. Like family members means, so index server, name server, each and every process, what it will does, we discussed in the last class, right? Name server, preprocessor, index server, access engine, which process is existing, which one. So system DB, 1080 DB difference, 1.0, 2.0 difference. So all these things we discussed. Most of the questions will come in this way only. First initial basics only. Why? Because HANA, no one don't know currently. Only few knows about the HANA. So that's why they will only concentrate on the few information. What is the difference between the HANA 1.0, 2.0? So what is the difference between the HANA 1.0 and 2.0? And so what is the 2.0 system DB to DB differences? So all the information we can observe it here in the all the information we can observe in the system. So like information, system DB, 1080 DB, list of process, all the things we can observe in the they may ask you questions basically, right? So and also if any issues comes, where to check it out. So if the alerts comes, where to check it, system performance is very bad, where can you check? So like that they may ask you questions. So first tabs are first 5 to 6 tabs are very important, right? Volume tab nothing, just we can observe the space. So instead of you just checking the operating system level, just in the operating system level, you go and df-h, you will see the status of the /ana and /ana data and /ana log. All this you will see, right? /ana data log, everything you will find out from here, right? Instead of doing here, just go to the HANA Studio level. Sometimes you won't get the access to the HANA Studio, sorry, OS level. In this case, you need to go to the HANA Studio, then you can check the volume, total volume. So what is the data volume, log volume? So all the information we can see in the volumes tab, right? So what is the currently, so file, what is the total size, what is the used size? So and also what is the free used and a total percentage. Data volume is getting full, I think 97% data volume. Let me check why it is 97%. Yeah, you can see here data volume is nearing to the here. So but already space is available, so we can ignore it, right? So we can ignore it. So like that you can see the space information. What is the free log segments are available? So log segment means changes about the SQL data which is available in the logs /log volume. So data volume as SQL data will be stored into the SQL data, right? This information we can see here. Volume IO statistics. Volume IO statistics means, so here, so how much writes, trigger, synchronous mode, asynchronous mode, field writes, all the information here we can monitor in the IO statistics, right? Input, output. This information we can observe it here. Next one is the configuration tab. Okay, are you clear with these 5 tabs?
Here one path is there, no? Volumes. What is the MNT001 something path? HANA DB S4H is okay.
Yeah, that is the mount. That is the mount 001, mount 002, something like that. Internally, it will create it under the /ana data. Each SID you will get the each SID /ana data SID this path. Here actual data stores here OS level, operating system level. So actual data path. So which OS level path? This is the OS level path. Maybe if you go to the same, so /ana data. So here the data will be stored here. Here the data will be stored here. You can go to the here. So this is the data volume. This is the data volume. All the database tables. So whatever there in the HANA database level, everything will be available in the, under the data volume. That's why SAP written, don't touch this file in this directory. If you touch this file, immediately HANA will be crashed, right? We should not touch this one. Why? Because when our data comes to the HANA, first it will go to the RAM, right? Then it will come to the slash HANA data, right? In the slash HANA data, where? In the slash HANA data, each SID, there is a mount and then there is a file, right? This is the data value. That's why this is the dat file. So if you corrupt, if you delete, entire your database will be corrupted. Even you cannot recover also. So, right, it's in the dangerous situation. So that's the reason we should not touch. That's why SAP is saying that don't touch files in this directory. Very dangerous here. If you do something, you should not go inside of this. Something you did mistake, you will be in the dangerous situation. That's why they will not give OSS access to us. Sometimes what we will do, instead of going to one folder and we will delete something, right? So if you delete something, you are the new, that is fine. But if you delete something, there will be HANA system will be down. If the HANA down, SAP will be down. If the SAP is down, the business users, they cannot do any business transaction, they cannot load anything here, right? That's the thing will happen here. Okay, so very important this one. Where it is writing in the data means in the data folder where it is writing. So that information will be given as a path here. So what the main is slash HANA data slash HANA log folder. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the next one is configuration tab. So it's a very important tab also. Configurations. In the name itself, we have here tabs are some meaningful tabs they have put in. Suppose like how we install the S4H means S4 HANA database. Sub S4D, S4 development database. Something like that. How we put same here also some configurations. Suppose like in SAP level, you guys are already knows about the SAP level, right? If in SAP level, if you want to change the some parameter value, the default settings, so where can you go ahead and change it? What is the transaction code SAP level?
RZ10.
RZ10 and RZ11.
RZ11.
RZ10 or RZ11, you can go ahead and you can change the system configurations, right? You can go to the system configurations, you can change it here. Suppose, what about the database level? Why? Because when you install the database, by default data will come, right? The default data means, so default configuration, default data will come. Then normally as per customer requirement, they will change the configurations, right? Suppose one customer 2 terabyte RAM, they will use it. One customer 1 terabyte, one customer 30, 68 GB RAM, they will use it. So depends upon that one, we need to change the, so the default system configurations recommendations will come. But later we need to change the configurations. Maybe if any issues occurs, SAP will ask you to change the configuration. SAP will ask you to change the configuration. So that in this way, how to change the configurations? Configuration means suppose you want to change the 1080 system index server. Then go to the index server, INI. So then you can change the index server level. These all are available here. Suppose you want to change the communication related, authorization related, authentication related, anything. You can go to the each and every parameter name. So you can change it here. You want to change the partitioning, password policy, each one. Suppose you want to change the password policies, maximum last used passwords, maximum 7 characters, all these things you can change it, right? Anything you want to change in the database level, you have to come to the configuration tab. There you have the INA files. You have to change the INA files here. Same as like here also. Some parameters you have to change it from the system DB only, not directly from the tenancy database, right? So only system DB, we can change it, everything. We can go to the system DB, there we have to change it, everything from here, right? You can see more in the system database. So compile server related, daemon related parameters. So global.ini, which means it's entire global related parameters. Index server, right? Name server. So global.ini means in SAP level default.parameter, default.ini, default.profile, right? Same as like here also, right? So like that, each process there is a one parameter is there. Suppose you want to change the, suppose like some timeout parameter. Maybe you are not sure what is the timeout parameter, what is the parameters. Then if you go to the just timeout, like that you can filter it out. You will see the some timeout settings here. Suppose daemon termination in timeout. Suppose if you see there is a this many values set here. I want to change this value, just to go to the new value, just to change this one, save it. So then that will be saved here. That will be saved here, timeout value. Suppose the SAP person asked you to change the lock wait time, transaction lock wait time. Then you can go ahead and you can change the transaction lock wait time to the, suppose, one value or different value, something like that. Then you can change it. So whenever you change it, it will come to the here in the custom value, right? Like that, we can choose the default way. Suppose I mistakenly change it, I want to restore the default. Just if you restore the default and save it, whatever you change is done, that will become. These are the default values. SAP given these values to us during the installation time. If you want to keep, you can keep it. If you want to change, you can change the values, depends upon the your issue. What is the issues you are encountering? You can change those values. Okay, you can change the values in the systems. That is the parameters, anything. So suppose sometimes maybe interview point of time or somewhere, most frequently parameters they may ask you like, so memory parameters. Have you ever changed the memory parameters in the configuration? So anyone can change the go to the configuration. If you don't know the parameter, what is the parameter, just you can put into the here in the filter box, then you can change the value. Double click and you can change the value. But in the RZ10, you need to change the value, you need to save it, active, save multiple things you have to perform it, right? Multiple activities you have to perform in the in the RSAP level. But when it comes to the SAP HANA level, just you can just filter it out, what is the value, then you will come to this parameter, then you can choose it. Normally we will get the requirement from the EWA about the parameter changes, or we will get the requirements from the EWA, or something like some SAP recommended values we will get from the EWA, some queries, some scripts, we will get it out. From there, we can gather all the information and we can change it here. But do we need to restart? SAP level, definitely we need to do the restart. Here, we does not require, sometimes we does not require the restart here. Why? Because some parameters require the restart, some parameters does not require the restart. So how can we check which parameters require the restart or not? So before we go that one, so the most frequently asked questions in the during the interview point of time regarding the parameters. In the global.ini, some memory parameters, This parameter ANA is based on the main memory mentality, right? Which means if you have how much memory is there, it will start using that much of memory, right? So here we should know what are the memory parameters it will restrict it, right? So these parameters are very important. Global allocation, limit parameters. It will limit the entire your memory usage, right? Then statement memory limit. Then statement underscore limit memory underscore limit underscore threshold. THRES threshold. So we have to set the 90% or 80%. We have to set it out. So these three parameters are very important. One is the global allocation limit. Suppose if you set the global allocation limit, you don't know where to, like something like memory global.ini file, then memory manager. Under the memory manager, you have the global allocation limit file is there. You can change it. Currently it's set to 0. 0 means unlimited memory. 0 means unlimited here. Means how much you have the voice physical memory is there, 39 GB. It will use the 39 GB. It will use it. It will occupy it. But I don't want to use that much of memory. I want to restrict it. Then go to the global allocation memory. So 39 GB is allocated. I want to allocate the 30 GB to RAM HANA. Then 30 GB approximately I have given. So it will come to the 29 GB, I guess. Then you change the memory parameter. Then come to the here overview tab. So here just change, see here 35 GB. Just change it, refresh it, then it change it to the 29 GB, which means your HANA will start using the 29 GB only, but your physical memory 39 GB, which means so the remaining 10 GB is free OS level, operating system level. It won't use it, right? Only 29 GB here we have. So it will use only 29 GB only. Like that, we can restrict the memory usage. We can restrict the memory usage of this one. Not only index server memory usage, all the process here. We can also restrict the so statement memory limit also, statement memory. Suppose each SQL statement, sometimes one SQL statement will use the 4K, one SQL statement will use the 4 GB, one more SQL statement will use the 400 GB also. But we don't have that much of space. What happens? We don't have much memory in the HANA system. HANA will be restarted. HANA will be stopped status, right? When you don't have the memory, HANA will not function. It will be restarted. In this case, what we have to do here? Just you need to set the limits 4 GB. Suppose if you put the 4 GB, HANA will, each SQL statement will use only 4 GB of the memory limit. If the more than 4 GB, the statement will be cancelled. Only the statement will be cancelled. It will not impact. See, this is a high level information. High level means, so it's like more experienced guys, they may ask you questions actually. But don't worry. Now you just remember these 3 parameters: allocation limits, statement memory allocation limit, and a threshold. Thresholds you can set it out. So they may ask you questions like, how can we control the memory usage? How can you control the memory usage of the HANA database? So will you control, right? We can control it by setting the some boundaries, some set, right? Same way here also we can set it out, right? This is the way. Next one, how to, same as like in the system DB, sanity DB, we can control it. So they may, this type of questions they may ask you. So don't take it light here. Why? Because in the configuration tab, maybe you can remember like, if any parameter changes in the, if any parameter changes related to the HANA database, then you can go to the configuration tab of the HANA Studio. You can change it. If you don't know parameter name, that's not a problem. You can come to the here, you can change it. You can change it here. You can change it here. But you can come to the here, you can change it. That's not a problem. But when there is a if you don't know the parameter, how can you change it? Maybe in the filter tab, just you can search it out. You will get it out the something like something, some parameter name, you will get it out. You can change it. Fine, configuration tabs. Sometimes they may ask you questions like, in one host, it is a very valid interview questions. In one host, you have the, so one system DB, one tenant DB, you have the one tenant DB, right? You have the one tenant DB. 2 tenant databases are there. This is the tenant. This is the tenant. This is the system DB, right? So here system DB, tenant are there. Tenant 1, tenant 2. Here, this all databases will use the same RAM, right? 1 terabyte RAM, it will use it. It will use the same RAM because both are in the one OS only. Means entire RAM it will use it. How can we control it? I want some memory only. I want to, this one is very important here for me. This one is not that much of important. So here, how can we control it? This should be used only this much of memory. This much use this much of memory. How can we control it? So normally by setting the allocation limits, right? That we discussed, right? Just now as we speak, right now. So allocation limits, we have to set it out here. Suppose entire your 1 terabyte RAM, I want 600, 700 GB, 600 GB to this one, and 400 GB to this one. So which means 1 terabyte is gone. So which means, so this one is not much important. So but this one is using the more memory. So if the 400 GB cross, then this will be down. But this is still important. This is still there. This is still there. It will use it. Like that, we can just configure some thresholds here. Suppose 1 terabyte RAM, 10 GB to system DB, or some OS is 10 GB, tenant is so 900 something like that. Some percentage we can give it, 60%, 20%. OS is the 10%. Like that, we can set the thresholds so that your OS it won't cross it. Only HANA database will be. So if something is happens, so only one HANA will be stopped. Remaining will be active. Again, we can restart the HANA database. So when suppose if OS memory is crashed, suppose in our case, if you see here, so in our case, SAP Linux 1, 3-G. If you see here, only 39 GB out of 39 GB, so we have only 5 GB available free. In the 5 GB, we have multiple databases are running. Here, if you see the HDB, multiple databases, S4H 1 DB, S4H 1 DB, and S4D 1 DB. So total 3 databases are running here, right? 1, 2, 3. 3 databases are running, right? 3 databases are running here. So which one is using more? Which one is important for you? So then you can, if you set the threshold, suppose in 39 40 GB, 20 GB this one, 10 GB this one, and 5 GB this one, 5 GB free for the OS. Like that you can set it on. Why? Because we have such configuration is existing here. So you can change that configurations here. You can change that configurations here by setting, by going to the global allocation limits, the limits you can set it out. That's the reason the limitations are very important here. That limitations are very important here, right? So this is the configuration tab here. Sir, how can we set? So one more topic we should discuss about. So here, so which parameters we require the, so restart, and which one is not required the restart, right? So HANA, there is a one configuration parameters. If you go to the table, maybe there is a query, or if you Google it also, it will give the clear information. SAP, so parameters restart required or not, there is a one site actually. If you go that site, so here clearly they will display here. If you go that site, so it will show you. So there is a one view, unifile history. Yes. So if you go to the one properties value, you will get the information. You will get the information. So whether that is required the restart or not, you will get the information. So otherwise, SAP standard procedures. So the parameters. So there is a one unifile value, I think, parameter values. Yes. So if we go to the here, HANA Studio, right click, SQL console, then so here select star from. So here if you just to type the, so this table name, view name, enter it, then you will see the, so all the parameter values will be displayed here. All the parameter values displayed be here. So here if you want to pull the data from the database level, you need to use the SQL statements only. Select star. Star means all. So here, if you see here, restart is required or not. If it is the false, then you no need to do the restart here. If it is the true, something is true here, some parameters are true here. So then almost all parameters are does not require any restart. Some parameters require the restart. So maybe that parameters we can change it. We need to restart the HANA database. Before that, we need to stop the SAP. So that's way few parameters we can require the restart, few are not required. How can we check here? By checking the value here, by checking the value, value here. Maybe you can type more here. So where condition, where, so restart underscore required equals to true, means restart is required true value. I think as of now it's not displayed, 0 values. So we can display it something like that. If we configure some parameters, we can display it here, right? So that values we can display it here. So this is a way we can find out the whether the restart is required or not. Maybe if you Google it, you will get the more details from here. So how to check whether if the value is required. See here, the value is false, then we need to restart the system. If there is a yes, we can restart the system, something like that. So we can, we have the many methods are there. We can use the these many methods we can use it. See here, same configuration parameter values. So restart is required or not, it will display it here, right? So this is the information we can see it here. So restart means definitely you need to do the restart. Not required means you don't need to do the restart. It will be dynamically impacted. So it is permanent value. Okay, this is the configuration tabs. Okay, so this is the way we can, so we can change the parameter value, we can restart the systems. Okay, so is it okay? Shall I continue the remaining? Okay, I think it's more burden to you if I go next. Okay, so I'm stopping here up to configuration tab. So you guys please practice this first 6 tabs. So that will be very great. Actually, most of the questions HANA level you can answer by checking these values and everything here, right? So to add this HANA Studio, this one, so you can go to the HANA Studio, add it in the host name field. We can put like SAP Linux 1 instance number. This is the 00. So SID, this is you can put like S4H. Then so system user and password, you know, same password you can use it. So that way